everybody, welcome to Bones Collector. Today on Bones Collector we're continuing our series where Lori and I are playing our way through our board gaming library. So we're going to play a couple of games, 2 or 3 games each week, and make a video about it and pass it on to you, and I hope you enjoy them. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Bones Collector. Today Lori and I just got done playing Quacks of Quedlinburg, and this is part of our playing through our library series. And Quacks of Quedlinburg came out in 2000 and you think I would have looked at the date? 2018. I need to make a note of that. Yeah. 2018. And we've had it since it came out. This is a game that's about pushing your luck by making a potion in your pot here. And it is a bag builder where you're taking these tokens that have different powers, putting them in your bag that you have, like one of these things here, and then you're drawing them out and playing them on the board. Before we get to that though, I want to talk a little bit about the production of the game. I always do. And I do want to say the rule book for this game is good. The box that the game comes in is not good. It's a rather weak box, and I've meant to show you guys how you can tell when there's a good game box. But if you can see the sides of this box bagging away from the bottom, this is the top of the box, this is the bottom of the box, and the sides bag away like that. That's how you can tell it's a pretty crappy box. So it's a shame that they chose to do that, because this game is outstanding. Yeah, first of all, we love this game. Ever since we've had it, we just play the heck out of it. And we just got done playing it, what, 4 times in a row? Yeah, 4 times in a row. You just can't stop. I could set it up and play it again. I mean, I could play this game all night, really. It's absolutely a wonderful game by Wolfgang Warsch, and the art is by Dennis Lohausen and Wolfgang Warsch, 2 to 4 players. Wolfgang Warsch was also the designer of Taverns of Tiefenthal and Ganz Clever, The Mind. So he's a really, really good board game designer. So that's pretty cool. So the box was bad in this game. Everything else is pretty nice except the tokens that come with the game. These discs you see on the table right here are chunky acrylic tiles we had to buy. So, and that's a shame. Who is this publisher? North Star Games. They really dropped the ball because you are handling these things all the time. Yeah, these cardboard tokens is what they give you, and you're handling them all the time. And I mean, it doesn't take long for them to start to deteriorate. And it's a shame they chose to go that direction. They should have included these in the game and then charged whatever for the game. We had to buy these acrylic tokens from a secondary site. And what did we pay, like 40 bucks?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they weren't cheap, but they work great and they're gorgeous, and it's a must if you're going to play a lot of Quacks of Quedlinburg, because those cardboard chits are just going to wear out and wear out. So I just felt like the publisher should have published the game properly and put these chits in here. Make these acrylic chits part of the package. Everything else is fine. These books that tell you what each color of token does are thick. The scoreboard is thick. These pots are nice that you have. Those are nice and thick that you're mixing your potion in. These rubies are your typical red crystals that are in most games. These silk bags, they're kind of small, but they're adequate, aren't they, Laura? Did you have any problem with it at all?
No.
It didn't bother me a bit to use that bag. So other than those 2 things, the box and the cardboard chits that are the tokens that they send you that are garbage, they should have went ahead and published this game with these acrylic pieces that are much nicer, and they're pretty, and it was worth it. Because we paid as much for the tokens as we did for the game. But you need to buy these if you're going to play Quacks. This also won the Kennerspiel des Jahres in 2018, and it deserves it. We really have a great time playing this game. It's some silly fun. It's a push your luck game. It's a luck game. It's got some randomness to it. So some people are not going to like this game because of that. I like some randomness in games, personally, because then the smartest player doesn't always win. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that balancing, where a person that may be lesser skilled at playing board games can get lucky and win. I like that. There's a lot of people that, I'm the smartest, and I'm not going to let any randomness beat me in a board game. Well, okay, that's great. I don't want to play board games with you. But this game is kind of lucky, but it's a fun kind of luck, and it's like, I enjoy playing Camel Up because of the crazy nature of the luck in that game. Raw, that Pharaoh Edition box game, lots of randomness in that game. And I have a lot of games where you are more in control, but these kinds of games don't bother me. As a matter of fact, I enjoy playing them very much so. Lori's smarter than me. We just played 4 games. I won 3, she won 1. If there wasn't randoms, because I'm telling you, there was a time when I just got lucky. You know, I just pulled those tokens out of my bag and was just, it got all the way up around my pot and really scored a bunch of points and stuff. So all the games are close, don't get me wrong. As you can see here, we're within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. And the games were all close. But still, it was able to, you know, that separation of intellectual ability between my wife and I was balanced by the fact this game has some randomness in it. And I hope that is clear to you guys and why that can be a good thing sometimes. But I wanted to talk about this game. It's part of our library. It's one of those games that will never go away. Do you think? I mean, we're never going to...
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is Quacks of Quedlinburg. And if you haven't played this, you know, I'm not going to tell you exactly how the game is played, but it's absolutely outstanding. You start out with some of these tokens in your bag. You have 7 white ones of different values, and you have an orange and a green, and you start that out in your bag, and that's all you have. And you're trying to lay those tokens down till you bust. Now, you don't want to bust. You can have 7. 8 is a bust. And there's some changes in rules having to do with these books and stuff that alter that here and there. But for the most part, if you go to 8, you've busted. If you go over 7, any value over 7, and you've busted. And then you don't get both of the items that are on your potion space. It has 2 things you can do. There's points and there's coins. And so you're going to get both of those if you don't bust. If you bust, you have to choose between one or the other. And that's really how this game drives. This potion pot drives the rest of the game about how many points you're going to get, how much money you're going to spend, and buying more tokens. They have different values, 1s, 2s, and 4s. And of course you want to get those 4s, but they cost more. They cost more, you know. The 1 is 8, the 2 is 12, and the 4 is 18 coins. So they cost more. But gosh, this is the one I was talking about. If you get if one of those yellow tokens comes out when you're mixing your potion, your bust limit goes to 8 instead of 7. And if 3 of them come out, your bust limit goes to 9. So you're trying to get 3 of those in your bag first of all, which is, as you can see, is pretty expensive. And then you want them to be as high a value as possible. So that's a lot of fun figuring that out and making those interesting choices about which one of these books you want to, the color of tokens that you want to put in your bag and build your bag up with, because they each have special powers and they're very fun, and you get a whole stack of them. And we do not have any expansions for this game, and I don't think I would need them. I mean, there's so much variety in these books.
And there's a backside of those player boards.
Yeah,
another game we've never played.
Yeah, backside of the player boards. There's 2 sides to every one of these books, so there's so much variety in this game, and you can mix them and match them, and it's just a lot of fun. And I want to talk about it a little bit today because people talk about Quacks of Quedlinburg. I mean, when you're watching people playing board games on Facebook or whatever, you always see Quacks crop up because it's a game that everyone can play. You can teach it pretty quickly. This is a pretty quick teach. It's not, it wasn't considered for the Spiel des Jahres because it must have been considered a little bit more difficult than that because you do have different things you're going on. This scoreboard has the round counter on it that it's going to help you keep track of the rounds, and you play 9 rounds, and each round, for the most part, has something different you're going to do when you move that round marker. You know, you add a number 1 white to your bag, and you add the yellow book, you add the purple book, and then the last round, number 9, has the end game scoring stuff on it. And then it also gives you a player's aid that walks you through what you do at the end of the round. So the game is tons of fun. There's probably nothing I can say about it that hasn't been said before. You have a deck of special cards and you're going to draw one and turn it up at the beginning of each round, and it's going to maybe give you a benefit or change a rule in the game, and that adds a little more excitement to it, and I really enjoy that. Again, this is a game that will stay in our library for as long as we're playing board games, and it just has so much to offer. If you haven't gotten your hands on a copy of Quacks, you would be happy to do so because it is so much fun, and that is the point. It's the point of what you're doing. When I play a board game, I like laughing and having a good time. I don't want to think so hard that my brow is furrowed and I don't want to talk to anybody, and I don't know, those types of games have their place, I suppose, but those are hardcore hobbyists. This game is just a fun and airy, push your luck affair that you can talk, and there's more than one time while in those 4 games where you were hoping for a certain acrylic tile to come out, and it was, the white 3, and you're like, oh, I busted. I mean, dagnabbit, you just pushed your luck too far, and that's the point of it. And it's just so much fun to do that. At the beginning of the game, it's a good thing to do that because you get more dollars to spend. But hey, that's it. I'm not going to go on and be long-winded about this game. I hope you have the opportunity to play it. I love it. Lori loves it, and most of the people that I've ever talked to that play Quacks really enjoy this game because of its random nature. It sometimes is a good thing. So hey, like and subscribe, please. I love hearing your comments. It's so awesome. We hear from people all over the globe, and I really, really enjoy that. Hearing from places I'll probably never go. And I love every one of you. Keep on board gaming. It's the best hobby on the planet because of games like Quacks of Quedlinburg by Wolfgang Warsch. Thank you, Wolfgang, for an absolutely fabulous game. I enjoy playing it, and I play it over and over and over. See you next time on The Bones Collector, you guys. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, welcome to Bones Collector, and today Lori and I just got done playing one of our favorites, and that's Sagrada. Sagrada came out in 2017. It was designed by Adrian Adamescu and Daryl Andrews. It's for 1 to 4 players, so it's got a nice solo game, and it's a dice drafting and end-game bonuses game, and the winning condition, of course, is most points. This game comes in a nice box. It has a nice insert that holds, everything tucks away nice and neatly. I love and appreciate when board game publishers do that, so that's very kind of them to do that. The game itself, you have your windows that you're going to be placing your dice in, and also placing in your pattern cards, and I'll talk about those in a second. They're double-sided. These are, of course, dual layered, so that way you can lay your dice in there. I don't know if you've not played, this game's been, and it's very popular. Sagrada is a very popular game, and for good reason. And you get a lot in this box, because you get 12 of these pattern cards in varying complexity. So you have anywhere from 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's the complexity levels of these cards, and they're dual-sided. So that's very nice. There's a lot of different pattern cards you can use. These are tool cards. You use 3 of them in every game. We just finished playing. You use 3 of these tool cards in every game, and those allow you to break the rules. So that's kind of nice too. Now the way you do that is by using these favor tokens that come with Sagrada. And these favor tokens, the way you determine how many of these you get is the complexity level of the pattern you're doing in your window. So if you're doing a 6, which is the hardest, you get 6 of these. If you're doing a 3 complexity window, you get 3 of these favor tokens. And you place these on these tool cards in order to break the rules. The only thing is, the first time you place a favor token, it only costs you 1. Now anybody else that goes to that tool card has to pay 2 in order to use that tool card. So you can see how that works. You want to get those early, because if you go after someone else has used that tool card, it's going to cost you 1 more favor token than they paid. Then you also have 10 of these public objective cards. Then you use 3 of them in each game. You can see them laid out here. You use 3 tool cards, 3 public objective cards, and then it comes with 5 of these private objective cards. You just randomly draw one of those from the deck, and each player will have one of those, and it gives you the cumulative value of whatever particular color is on that private objective card. Oh, it also comes with a nice draw bag. It has Sagrada. It's screen printed on it. Hey, you guys will have to forgive me. I was painting today, and we're painting our kitchen and our kitchen island, so I had my paint clothes on. I took a break to play a board game and shoot a video. But to get 90 dice in this game, and they're a nice draw bag that I showed you. Then this is a round counter. Now it's a dice drafting game in a 2-player game. Of course, in all player counts, you're going to draw 2 dice for each player plus 1. So that in a 2-player game, we're going to draw 5 dice each turn out of the draw bag, roll them, take turns drafting 2 dice. The last die goes up on this board to count the rounds. And also, some of these tool cards will allow you to use the dice that are on this round counter at certain times. So that's something that is kind of cool in this game. And that's it. You're just going to place these dice on your window according to the pattern card you have with the restrictions that you see on here. In other words, in these color squares, you're going to have to put that color die in that square, and the ones that have, in the black and white, that have die value on them, you have to put that die value on that square. And in Sagrada, the rules are you can't place like colors or like values next to each other, so it becomes a nice, fun, crunchy puzzle. And this is the type of game that we like. We just played it 3 times in a little over an hour, and yeah, I mean, you can't beat that. And think pretty hard. I mean, you're trying to put this puzzle together and restrict yourself to this pattern and the rules of Sagrada, and it is a lot of fun. And this is the type of board game that Lori and I really gravitate towards. A nice crunchy little puzzle that can be done very quickly, and that's why it's in my top 50. It's way up in my top 50 all time. It might be my top 30 all time. But there's a lot of variability in the game. There's no expansions in this. This is the base game, and you get a lot in the base game. I have a lot of board games, so I revisit this as often as I can, but I don't need an expansion because the time that in between plays of this game are large enough to where it doesn't matter. I don't get bored with what's in this box at all. And that's a sign of a good board game, really. And we really have had this game since it first came out and have enjoyed it ever since. Every time we get it out, I'm just thrilled to play it. I love all these types of puzzle games like this. Sagrada and Reef and Sentient. I love Viceroy. These little puzzle games that we can get done quickly and think pretty hard in that little bit of time, 20, 30, 45 minutes. And I just want to take a minute and play this today and tell you guys about it. If you haven't played Sagrada, you're missing out on a good time. This is a very, very good board game. This is the type of game that we love to play, that you can get it out of the box, set it up, play it, have it back in the box in less than an hour, and in this particular case, probably play it 3 times in that hour, and that's a lot of fun. So I want to tell you about it. That is really all there is to say about Sagrada, except that I'm in love with it, and I don't feel like that relationship's going to go anywhere but up. Yeah, I also wanted to say that this is very similar to another game that Laura and I used to have called Role Player. And Role Player, I forget what year it came out. It was maybe around the same time as Sagrada. So anyways, Role Player is very similar, but the thing about Role Player, it just took a little bit longer than we like to play. I think Role Player, I think we could get it done in an hour. There's a little bit more to it, and we like this universe of the windows in the Sagrada better than the fantasy world of Role Player. Loved Role Player, it's a great game. I just like this one a little bit better. I gave this one the edge because it's a lot quicker to play and get out and put back away. But yeah, hey, they're both really good, but we like Sagrada just a little bit better. Please like and subscribe, and take the time to keep on board gaming, because it's the best hobby on the planet. And I'll see you the next time on The Bones Collector. Bye-bye. I'm going to go paint now. See you later. Hello everybody, and welcome to The Bones Collector. And today Laura and I just got done playing Don't L.L.A.M.A Dice by Reiner Knizia. This game came out in 2021. It's for 2 to 6 players. A very simple push your luck dice rolling game, and it's a lot of fun, you guys. First, I'm going to tell you what you get when you buy this. First of all, you'll probably find this for $10 or $11 at your local game store. 15 bucks, I think we paid for it on Amazon, just because we wanted to get it right away. And it wasn't in our game store. But yeah, very inexpensive. And you get this box with some cards, and this is the rule book. And the cards are smaller than regular playing size, but they're linen, so that's kind of nice. And then you also get these chips. The white ones are 1 point, the black are 10, and 3 beautifully sculpted engraved dice. I mean, those are pretty nice dice. I can't stand square dice, so I'm glad they sculpted these dice because they roll nice. And then this is a regular deck of cards, but there's 7 of these cards that have to be up here in kind of a market row, and they have a special back on them so you can know which ones have to go up here. But Lori put sleeves on them because when you're playing the game, they get mixed up with the other cards, and it's a lot easier if you don't have to flip them over and look at backs. But she put sleeves on them, that way we know which ones have to go up here at the top. And to begin the game, it's a very easy game. Each player will get 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The rest of the cards don't come into play during this particular round. And you first one to -4. Well, it says -40 points.
First one to 40 points.
Yeah, first one to -40 or first one to negative. We played till -30.
We played till -30.
Because it depends on the game.
That stops the game.
Yeah. And then you're simply going to put these cards in front of you and group them together like this. So I didn't get any 4s, but I got, or 2s. So I've got 1, 2, 3s, a 5, 6, and a llama card. Llama is -10 points. So you want to get rid of those. It's like the old maid. Get rid of that card. And the rest of the cards are at face value minus points. So you're going to take these dice on your turn and you're going to chuck them like that. And in this particular instance, I got a 4, 6, and a llama. Well, I don't have any 4s, but I have a 6 and a llama. Well, 6 I want to get rid of because it's -6 points. And the llama's -10. So boom, I just helped myself out quite a bit. And that's it for my turn. I will give the dice to another player and they will take their turn. Same action. They're going to try to do the same thing. Now there's a couple of different things that can happen. You're trying to get rid of as many of these cards as you can out of your hand. Anything you have left over is negative points and you're going to take it in the form of these chips. But if you, once the game has played out a little while, like if I went to roll this again, which I'm going to do, let's see what happens. Hey, I got a 1 and a 3. So I get to get rid of those 2 cards. And I got a 3 and a 5 left. Let's say that player takes their turn and I'm going to go again. That is not bad, 8 points. I would probably stay with
Going
that.
again right now is not smart, but
I know.
he's going to try it.
Yeah, but I'm going to try.
Sometimes it works.
So 3 and a 5. So I need a 3 and a 5. Oh, I got a 1, a 4, and a llama. So I don't have any of those cards in front of me. So now, because I pushed my luck and I don't have any of those cards in front of me, I have to take either the 1, 4, or the llama out of this row. Naturally, I'm going to take the 1 and then put that card in front of me. Then it's going to be the other player's turn. And now when it comes back to me, I'm going to roll again and try and do the same thing. 2 3s and a llama. Boom, I got a 1 and a 5 left. Other player takes their turn. They're working on their hand. I'm going to go again. I got a 3, a 6, and a 3. So now, because the 1 is gone, so I would have to take either the 3 or the 6, which I would take the 3. And that's the way this game works. Now this row is getting low on cards. I mean, and maybe this player has taken a couple of these cards. Let's say they were doing, and now we're down to 4, 6, and a llama. Now the next time I roll, if I don't get a 1, a 3, or a 5, or a 4, 6, or a llama, then I'm going to have to take all those cards. I'm going to have to take all those cards and put them in my hand, and that is it. I'm going to eat those points. So pushing your luck in this game can pay off big.
That's llama drama.
That's llama drama. That's what they call it in the rule book. Or also, if you, as the game wears on and you've got some chips over here, whoops, and you've got some points against you, right there would be 24 points. If I roll all 3 of these dice, and I just rolled 2 llamas. But if I roll 3 llamas, and I'm rolling this dice tray, I shouldn't do that. If I'm roll 3 llamas, I can get rid of one of these chips. And you want to get rid of the black ones because they're minus 10 points. So that's kind of a cool thing to have happen. And then also, if you happen to get lucky enough to get rid of all the cards out of your hand, the round ends immediately, and your opponent, the other players, however many people are playing, have to count up their cards of what they have in front of them, and those are negative points. So
and you get to get rid of a chip.
And I get to get rid of a chip.
If you empty your hand.
Yes. So that's about everything there is in this game.
I think so.
It's a very simple game, and it's. What'd you think? I mean, it's a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Jeez.
Yes.
I mean, Reiner Knizia. I mean, isn't there? I think there's a llama card game.
Yeah,
or
there
something.
is. There is.
But I like in little games like this. I like dice.
Yeah.
And these are nice, again, chunky dice, and you get to roll those things. It's just fun to do that.
Well, and there's 2 llamas on each dice, so each die doesn't have 1 through 6 on it.
Yes. Oh, I didn't.
There's only-
I wanted to mention that these dice are not like D6s. On every one of these dice, there's 2 llamas. So you got to think about that when you're pushing your luck. It's like, if you got a 6 and a 5 out there and a 2, man, I tell you, 3 different numbers is okay, but man, I don't know. When you get down to 2 numbers.
I mean, in the top row, if you had a choice of taking a 1 or a llama, maybe taking a llama wouldn't be bad, because there's a better shot of rolling a llama than
That's
a
a good
1.
point. I never thought about that.
I didn't either till just now, but
Yeah, you're better off to take the llama out of the top row.
because there's six llamas on those 3 dice.
And you will roll a llama. If you got a llama in front of you, you'd have to. You're going to
Yeah.
push your luck because there's
Yeah.
lots of llamas.
There's
in
lots of
these
llamas,
dice.
yeah.
But Lori's a good dice roller by nature, and I'm a bad dice roller. But this game was still fun for me. I mean, she was going backwards, and I'm getting all kinds of points. She's rolling. She's getting. I think you did it at least twice in the game. Got rid of your whole hand.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. I'm
And I
gonna
rolled
kick
llamas,
her.
3 llamas once.
Yeah, she rolled 3 llamas. And she was on like. At one time, I think she was up to like 30 some points.
Yeah.
And 40 ends the game. I think I had 35. She had 30 something, and she got all the way down to like 10 points. That was ridiculous.
Well, you rolled 3 llamas and you didn't have any chips,
Yeah, I
so
didn't
you didn't
have
get anything.
But wow, what a fun little dice chucking game. It couldn't be any more fun, and it's just a great game design. There's a lot to be said for a game that's elegantly done. And someone gave this game some thought. His name is Dr. Reiner Knizia. The guy's he's made more games than I have hairs on my head. And just inexpensive games and this travels well. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's just a little tiny box. You could take that anywhere. Rolling the dice might be tricky, but in a hotel room or something,
Yeah.
or you're staying with family, it's a great game to travel with you to pass the time.
Yeah.
This is just going to be a lot of fun for everybody. It takes about, if you're playing to negative 40 points, if that's the threshold, it takes you about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, it's not too bad. You just take one, you take your turn, pass the dice. They take their turn, pass the dice. Then
So
the
you
one who
decide
takes
you
the
want-
last,
yeah.
the one who takes the last action will be first in the next round. And then you just keep going until somebody has negative 40 points, which is going to be me usually. But I still love this game. I still have a lot of fun doing it. And it was just fun playing. We just didn't get it that long ago. And I saw it somewhere and saw it played. And I said, okay, we have to try that. And I'm glad we picked this up. Doesn't take up any space. Again, I'll hang on to this game.
It's a goofy name. I think
Yeah.
it would sell better if it wasn't called Don't L.L.A.M.A. Dice.
Yeah, I want to tell you guys about it. It's very inexpensive fun. And if you like that kind of thing, rolling dice and pushing your luck, wow. Don't L.L.A.M.A. dice. Don't L.L.A.M.A. dice me. Yeah. Make sure you like this video and subscribe. And I'll see you next time on The Bones Collector. Keep on board gaming. Best hobby on the planet. Bye-bye.